everybody. Welcome to the third episode of YLC Chats. Today we have a really exciting interview with Paul Brooks from Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're really excited for this episode. So we're going to get started. Margot, if you want to ask Paul the first couple questions.
Will do, Sophie. Hey, Paul, I'm Margot.
Hi, Margo.
So my first question for you that I have is, how long have you been involved in Best Buddies?
I started Best Buddies when I was 16 years old, so I've been involved with Best Buddies for 11 years, going on my 12th year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So my second question for you, Paul, is what Best Buddies program are you in?
I'm in Best Buddies, Nevada.
Are you in a college, high school, citizens
I'm
chapter?
I'm I'm in the jobs program. I'm in the citizens program as well too. My best buddy does live in Minnesota, but I see him twice a year.
That's amazing. So my final question for me, Paul, is what is your favorite thing about Best Buddies?
I think everything, the inclusion, how Best Buddies is giving us more opportunities to succeed more in the real world and have resources to have a voice of advocacy and inclusion.
The first three questions I got for you is how do you feel that Best Buddies has made you a better advocate for yourself and others?
That is a good question, right? I think it made me into a better advocate. It gave me a chance to really speak up for myself, for people with disabilities, and also promote more awareness in the community that I live in and also around the country. So it just gave me that voice of confidence and that voice of reasoning so I can use in every day of my life to really improve my life and jobs, relationships I have with my family, along with my friends as well too.
Awesome, Paul. Thank you. Another question I have for you. What does being an advocate mean to you?
Being an advocate means for me, Ryan, is that what it means for me is that it's for me to have a voice. It's for me to have a voice to where I can use it on a platform to help me in my day-to-day life, and also to help Best Buddies and help the culture just grow in general. That's what it means for me to have an advocate, to help me grow culture, to grow everything my day-to-day life to also to improve. So being an advocate means everything to me.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul.
My
And
pleasure, Ryan.
and the last question I have is, what are you an advocate for?
I basically advocate for pretty much anyone that needs it. I advocate for Best Buddies. I go around town in Nevada before COVID happened. I go help out. I help out the chapters. I give the chapter leaders advice on how to be better chapter leaders. I help out ambassadors that want to be ambassadors and global ambassadors. I mentor them and I help them. I help them out and I assist them if necessary. It's necessary. I'm also involved in other nonprofit programs as well, so our special citizens can have a chance to be more successful. And I always go around town helping all the disability advocacy groups the best way that I can.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul.
My pleasure, Ryan.
Hi, Paul. This is Asma. What inspired you to be an advocate for causes like disabilities and the Best Buddies mission?
What inspired me an advocate, I think it started with just seeing a lot of people before me do it. I mean, I seen a lot of great disability advocates in my life. I seen my parents do it. So I was like, wait a minute, you can do that? So I realized, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. So I tried it, and that's what really inspired me was when I saw them do it, and I saw them well, I'm like, wait a minute, I can do this. So that's what really inspired me to become an advocate that I am today. It was what was seeing the inspiration, the others before me really inspired me to become the advocate that I am today. And I asked them, like, how did you do it? what can I do better to improve on this area so far as being an advocate as well. But what inspired me was just my parents, and also to seeing the buddies and seeing the other disability advocates worldwide, see how they did, how their stories inspired me to become a stronger and better advocate.
What are some changes that you'd like to see in our country in regards to the areas that you advocate for?
I would like to see a lot of changes. That's a very long list. I think the changes so far, you're talking about the disability community, right? I think changes is like more understanding. I'm very big on educating communities for people with disabilities so they can get the help and services that they need. I also want to see more opportunities for our special citizens to be more successful in the real world. I also just want to see just a lot of stuff like better transportation, better everything around the world needs to be better for people with disabilities, so everyone's ensured that they have a chance in this world to be more successful. So everything, Ms. Ozma, I think really needs to change. Healthcare, transportation, educating in schools, more awareness in the community that know that we're there, and look at us as people compared to someone with a disability.
Those are all really great points that you mentioned. And so what can people watching this video do to help support what you talked about today?
I think it starts by just speaking up. It starts by just really speaking up on the issue. Like if you have something that you're really passionate about, write it down on a piece of paper to make sure that you know what you're doing, but speak up to know that you're passionate about it, so you know that you can do whatever steps that you need. So they take that any person can make a difference. Eunice King Shriver started Special Olympics in the backyard. Anthony started Best Buddies in the dorm room. So if I would tell a person, just speak up and write it down and talk to the right people to help you make sure you're striving to really fix what needs to be fixed.
Definitely. I think you bring up really good points on how, as long as you're passionate about it, if you reach out to the right people, then you can really make a difference in your community.
Anyone can make a difference.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much, Paul. I loved hearing about everything you had to talk about today. And I think it's super beneficial for people watching this who are in Best Buddies or not in Best Buddies to take what you talked about and apply it to their everyday lives and become advocates themselves. So thank you everybody for watching. And Paul, is it okay if we link your social media in the description?
That's perfectly fine, Miss Sophie.
Great. So we're going to link Paul's social media in the description below so you can follow him and learn more about what he's all about. Paul, is there anything else you want to say before we end the video?
Well, since the new year started, I just want to say that I'm very proud of Best Buddies. I'm very proud of the whole community for working together and coming together in this time. And I know this is inclusion never stops, and we will become stronger than ever, and we'll definitely it'll be even bigger reward when we come together again.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with that. Well, thank you so much, Paul, and thank you everybody for watching. This has been the third episode of YLC Chats, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.